Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence. Put in the work for yourself and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are on Thursday, January 18th. We're going to take a look at Baba today. So Baba continues to fall through these levels that we have been watching. And it's doing a few things. So one, it put in a candle here and reached up toward this 68, 87 level that we had. And then today it's wicking off of that again at the moment. So I'm wondering if it's going to try to pin itself to there, at least for a period of time. I don't know that could lead to anything magical for the Baba Bulls, but it did, sort of catch my eye that, okay, this is kind of the last level that we had on this killer chart right here. And, I'm wondering if it's going to have any sticking power there, or if it's going to wick off like it's doing at the moment and then put in another low below that 67.26. We can come back and take a look if folks are interested, and it does get, further away from any levels that we have in the chart. That said, there is a little gap here that you can see, between this candle and this candle here, and it would fill that at about 69.30 if it was able to rise up, and it does look to me like that's at least a recent price action, a resistance level as well. You see these wicks off of here. It's not a ton to go off of if we scroll back, but those did catch my eye, and that would close that gap. This looks a little confusing because there's then another gap here, right? You see this day where it came down a little over 3%, and that left a gap that we'll get into at about 70.53. Also looks to me like a relatively recent resistance level, right? This is pretty clear, even more so than this one here. And it would fill that gap at about 71.81. So that one is grayed out because I don't see it as a dominant resistance level, just a gap fill level. And then above it we do have this 73.69 resistance level that we've had on the chart. There's another gap here you can see grayed out there. And then if we come up even further, there's this resistance level here as well as this downtrend resistance, but above that there is a sizable gap when it dropped over 9% on that day. So a bunch of gaps to the upside. I don't know if that will be sort of alluring enough to be able to do anything that looks like stabilizing this downtrend, or, God forbid, reversing trend and putting in some bullish motion for a while to fill those gaps. We have to wait and see, but I thought I'd call those out. And like I said, if we drop below here and folks are interested, we can come in and put some additional lower levels in. We see if we get out to the weekly here, just so it's a less nauseating way to move and scroll left. We do have a few lower candles back here. That might give us a smidge of price action to go off of, but obviously it's not going to be a ton. Now in the Thinkorswim side of things, let's grab this section here. We had this trigger and buyer that set off this really strong motion down, right? That's where that gap down came in, and then spent a bunch of time out of the lower bound of the channel. We always look for it to then return back into the channel and see what it does, and if it does make its way in, what it does when it reaches the mid-range of the channel. Right here it tried to put in some motion, but it just sort of made a little bit of an effort, nothing too grandiose, and then pushed back down to the lower bound. Now it's back out of the lower bound again, showing the bearish momentum is continuing to pick up on the histogram, but the question is going to be, is it going to push off of this lower bound of the channel and basically treat that as resistance? If so, that may sort of further provide some bolstering to this view that the bearish momentum is yet to be picking up and has more to exhaust, or could it make its way in like we saw over here, and then what is it going to do? Is it going to treat this mid-lower bound as resistance, or the wave cloud as resistance, right? Those are sort of in the same spot at the moment. Or is it going to be able to come in relatively soonish to test the mid-range again and at least recover that period of the price action and see what it wants to do for at that moment. But we'll see. But for the time being, it is wicking off of the lower bound of the channel. So we'll see if that continues to play out or not. All right, folks, I hope the trading week has been going well. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.